Good morning. This is your 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. Seeing plenty of sun out there to start the day this morning with just a few high clouds around. Expecting fairly mild to warm conditions as well as some breezy conditions as we move over the next 48 hours. Very low end chance of seeing some precip tomorrow. If we do see that, it'd be a light sprinkle, maybe a light shower, but nonetheless looking at a continuation of dry weather, and we'll see some warm weather to end the week. Take a look at the current surface analysis. High pressure still in control over the eastern part of the country. We could see that front off to the west that will be pushing through the local area tomorrow afternoon, evening time. Again, that's going to bring that very low end chance of maybe seeing a light sprinkle or shower. But overall, we'll see warm conditions and breezy conditions out ahead of it. And then a return to more seasonable temperatures. It's still fairly mild after that front pushes through. We take a look at our current surface analysis, seeing just a few clouds around 25,000 feet, winds out of the west, 10 knots, gusting up to 19 knots, temperature at 67 degrees, and our relative humidity is at 81%. We look at our current visible satellite, we see clear skies across the area, just a few high clouds around. Expect that to continue through the day today. We'll see some additional cloud cover as we move through the overnight and into the day tomorrow as that boundary approaches. If we look at the European model here, this was the most bullish model with the precip chances for tomorrow. So dry conditions continue through the day. Again, we'll see breezy conditions, a good chance of seeing a wind advisory today. We'll keep a breeze up as we move through the overnight time frame as well. Breezy conditions out ahead of the front as we move through our Friday as well. And as you can see, as the front approaches, even the European model indicating a lot of that precip potential drying out and not quite making it through the local area. So we'll just keep a slight chance of maybe a light sprinkle or shower, but again, looks to be little to no accumulation if it does occur and not very impactful as it pushes through the area. So the front pushes through Friday evening. We'll see winds shift more northwesterly to northerly and start to taper down a bit, and then moving into the day on Saturday, dry conditions expected as high pressure builds back in, and we'll see fairly seasonable temperatures to maybe a couple degrees above average starting off our weekend. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, main threat today will be that chance of a wind advisory, starting off with a yellow risk this morning as those winds pick up out of the southwest, 10 to 15 knots, gusting up to 23 knots. Getting into the afternoon, we'll see those peak gusts up around 25 knots and bumping up to an orange risk for that wind advisory criteria, so a decent chance of seeing a wind advisory today. Otherwise, we'll see a warm day with a high of 78 degrees, well above average for this time of year, and mainly clear skies with maybe a few high clouds continuing around the area. Going into the evening time frame, we'll see more in the way of high clouds building in, scattered to broken deck at that 25,000 foot layer, and that continues through the overnight. We'll keep a slight breeze through the evening as well out of the southwest, 9 to 14 to 10 to 15 knots, but won't be as gusty. We'll see our low temperature reach 64 degrees, which is actually our average high for this time of year, so unseasonably warm for late October, and but overall quiet conditions with the exception of those breezy conditions, and tides running slightly below normal, and the next couple of days partly to mostly cloudy for our Friday, and just a slight chance of that afternoon, evening light shower or sprinkle. Yellow risk for that. Again, that looks to be a ever decreasing probability as we approach that front moving through the area. Once again, another mild day with breezy conditions. We'll see our high around 77 degrees, well above average, and we'll see an orange risk for those winds at or above 25 knots, so a decent chance of seeing a wind advisory during the daytime on Friday as well. Friday evening, mostly to partly cloudy, decreasing clouds behind that front. We'll keep a slight breeze behind the front, and then that should start to decrease as we move into the day on Saturday. Overall green conditions for our weather risk with a low of 50 degrees. And then Saturday, we'll see a cooler day, partly cloudy, but fairly seasonable conditions with a high of 65 degrees and not tracking any weather risk for our Saturday. That's going to wrap up the 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. Take a look at the extended forecast. Enjoy your morning.